I'm not going to do any jokes. I'm not going to do any bits. No recap, no nothing. I need you all to be serious. This is a pray for tomorrow week. The Monday night tragedy, it's something that still sticks in our minds, and it will stick to our minds for a very long time. For what we witnessed, for what those players witnessed, for what DeMar went through. Simply put, there's no easy way to talk about it. There's no easy way to say it. And the progress that DeMar has made up to this point has been astounding and miraculous. And we're thankful, and we're happy to see that he's improving and that he's going to be all right. We're not out of the woods. It's still a long journey, but we're just keep on praying, keep on doing everything you can. Just hope that he's okay, and hope that these players, for their mental health, they're okay, and hope for the league. But I want to use this as an opportunity to remind everyone: football is a sport. Sport is entertainment. But we must remember to place a value in the lives of those who give us that entertainment. These people need us now to show support and to show love and care for them. And we need to show love and support to one another. For something as simple as an everyday thing could be that close to just ending like that. So tell your loved ones you love them. Make sure everyone is all right, and make sure you let people know how you feel. And with that being said, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Week 18 and the final week of the regular season for the 2022-2023 NFL season, and for these picks. I'm your host, Catherine, known as the Blind Canadian Cat. I say meow, I roll intros. We, you know how we do. We choose peace and we accept love. We choose peace and we accept love here. Because life is precious, and we need to make sure we hold up that value, that standard of showing love and support to one another. And I think a lot of the community did, a lot of people did. We wanted to give extra time. We wanted to let everyone, we wanted to make sure that DeMar was okay. We didn't want to just move on with football like we've always been, or like it was another day. We wanted to give that space, that respect to the football community. So, again, glad DeMar's better. Last I checked on the updates, he is actually awake, and he was talking to people, talking to teammates, talking to family. So to see that, yeah, nothing more can be said. We're happy, and we can get into the debate of them canceling the game altogether. I'm not going to debate schedules. I'm not going to debate nothing. As a Ravens fan, I know how much we needed Cincy to lose that game to make this week potentially mean something. But I don't care about the football aspect. Canceling the game, I think, was the best decision overall. We can get into the topics of how they're going to break down AFC playoff picture and seeding and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm glad he's healthy. And we can just move on, do this final week, and go to the playoffs. I think that was the best move. Again, unfortunate to Buffalo, to Cincinnati, to Baltimore to an extent, and maybe we're throwing flowers early for KC, but I don't care. As long as he's okay, then we did that. But enough about that. Let's actually go into what that means here. So for Week 17, kind of a mixed bag of games. Straight up, we knocked that shit out the park. We went 13-2. One of those losses being my biasism of the Ravens falling to Pittsburgh in the last minute. Because, with Tyler Huntley, we have no offense, and the defense gets tired after 58 minutes of bailing them out. So, it is what it is. But I'll take the 13-2. And the other one, I would expect the Jared Mitchell to at least do a little more, but whatever. Maybe Jalen Hurts is the MVP, but we'll have to see how he performs when he comes back this final week. He should be playing. From what I heard, he should be playing this week. And Mahomes will play tomorrow, and we'll see. The MVP is down to one of those two. Especially after you could argue that Justin Jefferson maybe should have deserved a little love, but after getting clamped like that, sorry, my friend. You need to be flawless, and you got clapped in Green Bay. But enough of that. That's the week. 6-9 against the spread. When you just don't know what to predict from some teams. Even when they are good, they don't cover. And when you expect a team to give benefit of the doubt, they get blown out. I was not predicting Detroit blowing out Chicago. I couldn't. Not after last time, but whatever. It's whatever. And 8-6 went on the totals. I wonder if I should just start doing that prediction score thing more often. Maybe. Oh well. And with that, let's get into these picks. Starting with the 2 Saturday games. I'll take the Chiefs to win. I'm sure everyone and their mother's taking the Chiefs to win. But again, this Chiefs team hasn't done enough all season, really. Like I've been saying personally, we're used to the Chiefs sleepwalk in the regular season. I don't think they care. And even in the 2 times they were the 2 seed, the 1 seed ended up losing, so they haven't had to worry about road playoff games. And now, you could argue, due to unfortunate circumstances, they're also going to get another 1 seed, so they're not going to have to go on the road. Although I guess now with how things are going, they're discussing neutral sites. So I don't know. I think Case has got enough team; they don't care where they play. I think they can win anywhere. So we'll give them that. But I'm not. And the Raiders, maybe that's a one-time thing with Jared Stidham, but the fact that was a game, and you can argue Brock Purdy, showed signs of being a rookie finally, but I don't know. For a Niners defense that has been kind of kicking ass all season long, the Raiders just had their way for the most part on that off. They just had their way, so I'm giving that a half. I don't trust Casey to blow them out. Nor do I think Casey cares enough to blow them out. Nor do I think, morally stating, Casey wants to blow them out. I'm not going to say the team's not going to try to not win. I'm not going to say that, but, it wouldn't surprise me if some players, I don't know, might let Vegas stay in this game just due to the fact that Casey is going to be an undeserving 1 seed, you could argue, but I'm giving the Raiders a cover anyway. 9.5 is too many points. Jags over the Titans. Tennessee's in a free fall. Jacksonville's hot. Although it wouldn't surprise me if Jacksonville somehow blew this game, but I don't think they are. I think Doug Peterson's helped this team significantly. Trevor Lawrence is developing. They have met and at this point exceeded my expectations. And you got to give them credit at this point. Second half could be tricky. I would say Tennessee did give Dallas a fight, more or less, but at this point I think Dallas just likes to shoot itself in the foot, which, for a team that'll probably, I'm betting Philly will win their division. I'm betting it, so. Dallas playing in the wild card against Tampa, at this point, I wouldn't rule out. It's not a favorite bet. I'm sure Dallas is going to be getting most of the money on that, but it would not shock me if Tampa won that game. Just saying. But, I lost my train of thought completely from that. Jacksonville has been playing better. They're hotter. Tennessee's starting Josh Dobbs again. So unless Derrick Henry throws the 200-yard game, which, to be fair, he went for 100 in the first quarter against Jacksonville last time, and then Jacksonville ran away with it after that. Nah, Jags are hot, and let him go for it. I think they get this one. Jets, I'm taking them over Miami. Miami with no quarterback, free falls. They have yet to win a game where Tua doesn't play more than 10 minutes. So, I'm not betting them, period. Even with the crumbling Patriots in town, they couldn't beat them. So, I don't remember, fuck you. But hey, who's all excited for, and I heard the news on this one too, Joe Flacco will be starting this game. So, by all means, I will take that. if nothing else, for me to have that. Although I did see a post would be kind of funny. Joe Flacco would let Miami win this game for the sole purpose of Pittsburgh not being able to get into the playoffs. So, I mean, you could argue that. I think Joe wants to have one more win. Yeah, but Miami's in free fall, and at this point, I don't even think you want because I don't want Tua on the field. If Miami makes the playoffs, then you're going to argue for Tua to be on that field. I don't want Tua on that field. No. Jets win this game, please. Pittsburgh over Cleveland. I don't want to hear about. I cannot talk today. Playoff implications or not, I don't care. Mike Tomlin's got his foot up his ass for the, or he's got a rabbit's foot up his ass for the winning record thing, and I think he's gonna get it at this point. Cleveland, good job being Washington. I did predict that, but like I said, they started Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz pretty much lost that game. No one won that game. Carson Wentz lost that game, and Carson Wentz lost any faith for anyone to have him as a starting quarterback for the rest of his career, probably. That man will be lucky to be a third stringer on some teams. Not even joking. Fun one because I don't care, honestly. Let's take Houston to beat Indy. Indy is awful, and while Houston isn't any better, Houston can afford to have one game. And plus, I think they want revenge after that tie they gave up when they played the Colts at the beginning of the year. So why not? Let's give it to Houston. Indy doesn't care. And even if Chicago loses to Minnesota, Chicago's not drafting a quarterback. You could argue they'll trade that pick, but with, the Alabama pass rusher Will Anderson there, I don't think they will. And I think Houston's going to be all in on probably Bryce Young. You could argue C.J. Stroud maybe, but Houston's all in on quarterback. Chicago, I don't think they're going to let go of a chance to grab a pass rusher. So, you could argue they should, but I don't think they will. So, I'm giving Houston. Tampa, last I heard, Brady's talking about wanting to play the game. I'm sure he'll play a little bit. I don't think he'll play all of that much. I don't think it matters. But either way, Desmond Ritter's giving me no reason to lay 4.5 on the team. Even if Blaine Gabbert or whoever the hell else Tampa has as their backup comes in, Atlanta's giving me no reason to lay 4.5 on them. So even if you don't like Tampa to win the game, take the 4.5. Hell, am I laying down on Atlanta? Like hell. They won by 1 against Arizona. They were starting David Blau. You can't tell me Blaine Gabbert can't at least keep it a 3-point game if he ends up playing more than half of it. Carolina over New Orleans, I think Carolina's found some mojo, and I think a win in Tennessee will help them maybe carry something over the next season. Maybe Carolina will be the favorite to win the division next year. Because there's no way Brady comes back, right? Right? And the Saints, who knows? Who knows? Whatever. Buffalo over New England. You could argue that maybe 7's too much for them, despite all the emotional trauma they're going through right now. But New England's not a good team. They're not a good team, and so I fully expect Buffalo, even if they're not 100% emotionally, to win this game by more than a touchdown. It would not surprise me if this was like a 20-7 game. 16-3. You know, it's going to be low scoring. It's going to be kind of just meh. It's going to be a meh game. Buffalo might make some careless mistakes here and there because they're emotional. You gotta give this probably a high score. Nah, I'm staying low scoring. It is what it is. Minnesota over Chicago. I was preparing for this week to line up to the point where Minnesota had the 2, San Fran had the 3, and Minnesota lost, San Fran win what to do, blah, blah, blah. I was lining it up for Chicago to win that game. And even now, you could argue I was lining up for Chicago to win that game. But they're not going to play Fields. They're like, nah, he's too hurt. Last game, doesn't matter. Just, let's get you healing up early. He's going to heal. They're going to start Nathan Peterman. If anyone's expecting anything, Nathan Peterman's going to throw some picks. Minnesota, they're going to be stuck in the 3 seed at this point. They're on a one-way trip to playing the Giants again. I don't think it matters to anyone. So I think Minnesota's just going to be Minnesota. Get the garbage time points and yards, yada yada. I just don't expect much. Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals over the Ravens. The Ravens probably start Tyler Huntley. I don't want to get into the whole John Harbaugh dealing with Lamar's injury or blah, 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 because I think someone's talking out their ass at this point. We did this shit last year. You're doing it again this year. Someone's talking out their ass. Because either Lamar's actually really fucking hurt and shouldn't play this year, period, or Lamar's like, nah, fuck this team. You guys won't help me at all, so why should I help you? One of those two things is happening. And either way, and I'm saying this now, too, as well. Forget everything that's happened this season. If Lamar does not play in the playoff game, I want someone fired. I don't care who. If it has to be Harbaugh, then so what? I don't care. I want Lamar on this team. I want Lamar to be happy on this team. For an injury that reported to the league-wide, which you have to do. You have to do that. You report to the league a legitimate, like, hey, what is this injury going to take? 1 to 3 weeks. Alright, you wanted to give me 4 weeks? Sure. You're telling me he can't even practice enough to play this game? I haven't heard word on setbacks. If you want to say there was a setback, sure, I'll give you that. No one has told me, or has told Twitter, no one said anything. John was like, oh, we don't know, well, I'm going to prepare for this. Fuck you. Tell me. And tell me from the get-go, is he good? Is it worse? Or is he that pissed off at everyone he doesn't want to touch the field again? I don't blame him. This team has treated him like shit since the MVP year. Bateman goes down. Duvernay goes down. You want him to win games with 40-year-old Deshaun Jackson, 45-year-old Sammy Watkins, and DeMarcus Robinson? No. No. I don't blame him one bit for not wanting to play. Because fuck this team. Fuck this team. But, whatever. I'm over it. But with 9.5, I think Cincy might be a little bit emotional too. And the Ravens defense has been playing a lot better lately. And Cincy got off to a hot start early in New England, but they kind of just were not there for the most part of the second half. So if the Ravens defense could hold the Bengals to say under 23. I think the Ravens can get 13. I don't trust them to get 20, so if Cincy hits like 23, or 20 or 23, then boom, Cincy's going to win the game. Because Baltimore's not going to put up 20 points. I don't trust this Ravens team to put up 20 points. They won't. But if they can hold Cincy to like under 23, under 20, then yeah, give me 9.5. Pittsburgh's defense is better than Cincinnati's. I'll say that easily. Especially with TJ Watt healthy. But yeah, their defense is a lot better, so I think the Ravens can get away with putting up like 13, 14, 15, something like that. And if I think they hold Cincy under 27, which now with the rate this is, I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't see why Cincy would care, especially at this point, now that the 1 seed's not really in play for them. You could win the game, arguably, so you can have the divisional game, or the wild card game against. Because, let's be real. The Ravens and the Bengals are playing next week. We know this. You could. Because I don't see Cincy losing this game, but I also don't really see the Chargers losing to Denver. They might, but I just don't see it. Eagles are going to get Jalen Hurts back, and they're going to play him because they want the 1 seed, because they want that bye week. New York has nothing to play for, so Philly should win this game. If Philly doesn't win this game, even with the Giants, again, I don't want to accuse a team of half-assing, but there might be a player or two who's like, we're not going anywhere, so I'm not going to make the extra lunge for a tackle. I'm not going to make the extra lunge to get a block. Something like that. So, I don't think the Giants care this much in the game. Philly, I think they just want to make sure Jalen Hurts is healthy. So that's why I'm going to let New York lay the 14. I think they are going to still play some decent amount of players. But I am not going to lay the 14. I'm just not. I'm going to take Seattle over the Rams, but I'll take the Rams to cover 6. And for the majority part of that reason, it's because something tells me, because with the Green Bay-Detroit game now on the Sunday Night Flex, something eerie, there's an eerie feeling that the Rams will win this game. So that way, both the Packers and the Lions are playing for that playoff spot. That's just an eerie feeling. If you have spare money, feel free to throw a decent amount on the Rams straight up here. But I'm taking Seattle because I truly believe they're the better team and they'll win this game. And then you can argue whether or not Detroit can beat Green Bay to get Seattle in. But I'm taking Seattle, but there's enough eeriness of a feeling that tells me the Rams will win this game. Considering also when the Rams played Seattle last time, it took a late drive in the fourth quarter for Seattle to win this game. So, it would not shock me if the Rams won this game. Charge over the Broncos, mostly because they're taking the points. I'll take the points. Denver's not going to blow them out. I mean, they might now because now they don't have Nathaniel Hackett, so maybe Russell Wilson's good now because who knows. But, no. I will take San Fran to lay 14 over Arizona. I think that was just kind of a fluky game. Jared Stidham just kind of didn't care. He was having fun, yada yada. Cards struggled to put up 20 against the Falcons. San Fran, and they're going to want to make sure they get that 2 seed. They'll blow Arizona out the water. I don't care. I'm going to take Dallas to blow out the Commanders because I think now Ron Rivera's starting to lose the team a little bit. We love Ron Rivera and we appreciate him, but starting Wentz last week and ultimately eliminating yourself in the playoffs, I think that's going to get under some people's skin. And I think Dallas, now that they know, hey, if we win, and the Giants, hey, Giants, you want to beat Philadelphia so we can be the division leader, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, maybe, but Dallas has hope, even though they've played like they don't deserve it, but they're there. Washington, who knows where they're at this point. I think they're just ready for the season. Now that they've been eliminated, I think they just don't care anymore. So, they're ready for the season to end. And I am going to take the Packers, mostly on a momentum thing. Detroit's such a fun pick to pick here. But I can't find it in me to do it. I want them to win. I want Detroit to be the team in the playoffs. But, I can't see it. I can't see it. Alright, you have that. I will not be doing a parlay play of the week, or the cat parlay of the week. Mostly because week 18 is such a fuckle. You really don't know what to expect out of any of these teams. You'll have teams fighting for playoff spots, of course, but they're also all divisional games, so you never know who's going to win, who's going to lose, who's going to cover, who won't. You're better off betting on wildcard weekend. Save your money, bet on wildcard weekend. It's not worth it to bet on these games. It's not. And I'll update you guys with fantasy next week. Most of the leagues are done. Some leagues a dumbass and wants to do Coconut Mall Championship game week 17 and week 18. So that result has yet to be determined between me and him for that final game. Who's going to win? Every other league's been determined. I've posted on Twitter a couple of times or in my Discord, so you can check those if you're really curious. But, yeah. I'll update you with that next week. And, yeah, that's going to be all for me. It is what it is. Yeah. Again, thoughts and prayers to DeMar Hamlin's family. And I hope once you're done in the hospital, you'll hit a point where you can recover and just do whatever you want, or just live your life, because you deserve that. You deserve to be able to live your life. So heal up and go enjoy your life. Whether that means you'll play football again, I don't know. You don't want to say that facetiously, but then you also got to remember, like, at some point, your life is more important than football. So that's something he's going to be thinking about this offseason. If he wants to play, good for him. If not, you understand. And we should respect that. But that's all from me. Blah, blah, blah. Make sure you follow me on my not my Facebook. I don't have that Facebook page anymore. Twitter, Canadian Cat CP. Instagram, Blind Canadian Cat. Hop into the Discord. Hop into Twitch. I haven't streamed in like months, but that's mostly because of the football season. Between working all the time and then footballs, I just don't have time. I'm barely on my Xbox. Although I do want to stream more stuff on here. I bought games for my Steam, so I can theoretically play and stream from my computer now. But it's all about timing. And then also with my living environment right now, roommate's right here, or he sits right next to me, so it's like I can't really stream because I don't want his background noise. I don't, and I don't think he wants me blabbering. I don't know. It's tricky, but whatever. And yeah, thoughts and prayers, like I said, and that's gonna be all from me. Thank you for watching. I shall catch you all for the playoffs. Choose peace, accept love, and have the biggest of big trusts. And Ravens, please don't get blown out. I don't care if you lose, honestly. I'll watch the game, but it's like, if Lamar doesn't come back, I don't really care. And that's what I was trying to also say. That's what I said last year, too. Like, if Lamar's not going to play, I don't want this team in the playoffs. I really don't. Because this team is unbearable to watch without him. Anyone want to watch a playoff game, more than likely against Cincinnati, without him? I can't do it. I can't do it. But good night, Internet. And tell your loved ones you love them.